大家好，欢迎来到 Uni Talk Show。今天非常开心，邀请到英国 Surrey 大学的 Dr Sharmini 来到我们的现场。那这个机会非常难得，因为教授他是在兽医这个领域的专长。那在动物科学这个方面，除了兽医之外，其实它所涵盖的职涯发展范围非常非常的广，学习的领域也非常非常的多元。今天我们很开心可以邀请到Dr Sharmini 来跟我们分享他自己第一手，不管是求学的经验，或者是他的研究历程，让大家对于在照顾动物这件事情上的职涯发展有更多的想象。So hello, Dr. Sharmini.
Hello.
So happy to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's great to be here.
So could you briefly introduce yourself
Sure.
and also the role at the University of Surrey?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Dr. Sharmini Paramasivam. I'm an associate professor in veterinary behavior and animal welfare at the University of Surrey. I'm also the associate head of school external engagement. So my job at the university is predominantly to teach students, also to do some research and to make sure that students are supported through their journey at the university.
So many young people think that loving animal is enough for vet medicines. So based on your experience working in this field, how true is that?
Okay, so loving animals, of course, is a big plus and is definitely needed because you're going to be working with animals quite a lot. However, it is not the only thing that's going to help you with the veterinary course because you have to also love people to do this work. Because remember, a lot of our pets or a lot of animals are owned by people. So you have to still communicate with people quite a lot in order for us to change the life of animals. So what we always say is that, you learn to communicate with clients or with people who own animals so that you can improve the quality of life for animals. So that is definitely also needed. And can I just add on as well, it's also important for you to love or to know the environment because human, animal, environment all sit within the same equation. So it is really important for people to also understand the environment, which also plays a role to the animal as well.
I think probably environment is the element that most of the young people didn't consider when they think about if they want to study vet meds in the future. Can you make more example about how environment importance can be if they work in this field?
Okay, so obviously it's definitely taught in the curriculum because we make people understand that where you keep your animal or how you keep your animal has an impact on the life of the animal. So if you don't give it the right environment, then it can affect the welfare or the quality of life of the animal. Equally, if you don't manage how you keep the animal and there's say disease or problem, then that can also affect your environment, because a lot of the waste that comes from animals, we have to learn how to manage it well because we don't want to have the environment being contaminated with disease or just contaminated generally.
I think it probably for young people or students it's easier for them to imagine if they have some pet and there is certain animal. Taiwan is a tropical country,
yes.
So the weather is relatively more hotter or more humid.
Yep.
Probably it will affect if these animals come from other zones, then they will have more adaptive problem. Then if you keep any pet, you probably will have the same advice from your vet before. So
Absolutely.
your work also involves a lot of, as you mentioned earlier, that loving animal is very important. You have to be very good at communicating with the human because they are owners or they work with animals.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's also a part of your works involved about human and animal interaction.
Absolutely.
So that sounds very different because sometimes, as we said earlier, that students or family think that as long as you love animals, it's enough. So can you give more explanation that what actually that mean for human and animals interaction?
Sure, yeah. So human-animal interaction is a sort of like a subject, and it really is looking at that relationship that humans and animals have and how deep that relationship is. So it can be general things like, you know, the relationship or bond between human and pets and the relationship that happens there. How can we strengthen that relationship? And this can come down to understanding how we keep our pets. So as you said, you know, how we manage our pets in a tropical environment, if we are providing the animals what they require. For example, dogs actually need to sleep 16 hours a day.
Oh, really?
Yes. So
dogs only cats need that much sleep.
Yeah, they do. So dogs need a lot of sleep. So if we're going to keep our pet dogs, they don't sleep like humans, right? For long periods of time. They sleep short hours multiple times. So we have to understand that human-animal interaction and recognize that when we're keeping these animals, what we do affects their quality of life. So that's one aspect. Human-animal interaction can also be how we interact with wild animals, and that can sometimes turn out to end up in a negative way, and we call that human-animal conflict. So this is when wild animals and people don't seem to coexist in the right way. Actually, from the animal's perspective, they're just living, they're just doing their own thing. But from our perspective, maybe we find them to be a little bit of a nuisance, you know. So there's many examples of that. In the UK, we have issues with foxes. Foxes live in urban places, and therefore people treat them like pests. In some countries, in Malaysia, Indonesia, we've got monkeys that live in urban spaces. In other countries, you have crows,
you know,
bears, absolutely, you know. So just different examples where they live in the space of people, but we haven't learned how to coexist. So they become a problem, and when they become a problem, we can't manage them. So there's different sort of unhealthy ways of managing them. Sometimes they shoot them, sometimes they have to be killed, poisoned. So part of the work that I'm doing in human-animal interaction is try and find solutions for these things that is helpful for people, but also helpful for the animal and the environment. And this is why I say, you know, it's always you have to take people into consideration as well.
So following this question, some people think that working with animals is always very relaxing or fun. But among the vet science, actually is quite probably also emotionally or physically challenging.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, that's true as well. So it is still fun, and to a certain extent, you know, you can feel relaxed by the changes that you make in an animal's life. So that's quite positive. But you're absolutely right that it can be emotionally and physically quite challenging. And this is something that we want to make sure vets or vet students at least in the program recognize this. So you can't help it. It is emotional, you know. It's a long course. You are caring for animals. I'm sure to be a vet or vet student, you have to be a caring person.
Yes.
You must have empathy. So you feel very sad when an animal doesn't make it, or you feel sad when a client is sad about their animal. You know, you create a bond with clients, and it can be very, up to now, you know, like 20 years on, it can still be very traumatizing to see clients that are sad, or when you lose an animal. So you have to recognize, how do you manage your emotions, and how do you compartmentalize, or how do you know when, okay, it's too much for me, I need to seek some support, you know. So this is taught in the course because we want to make sure that vet students are also learning these skills, so they don't burn out when they are in vet practice, you know. And physically as well, it's true. Nowadays, you know, you have to carry heavy animals, so it's again working with technology, working with asking for help if it's a big animal or larger. Horse, yes, absolutely, because you know those are it can be dangerous if you don't ask for help, or even a really large dog if you have to carry it. Make sure that you're asking for help, or recognize that, okay, maybe this one I'm not going to do on the table, we're going to do it on the floor because it's safer for the vet.
So you have to be very emotionally and physically strong and stable if you want to study in the vet medicine.
Yes, absolutely.